Hey guys, welcome to the channel, welcome to the garage. So this is my tire change machine. I've had this for a few months and I have some adapters that are going to allow me to change out like a motorcycle or ATV tire, like a smaller diameter tire or rim. And I want to show you some information on these, how they work, the different settings, how you install them, how they work on this ATV tire that I'm going to change. So let's get into the video. All right, if you can see here, this is my tire change machine. This can do up to a 26-inch rim in clamping. It has a wide range of clamping abilities. However, it can only clamp about a 14-inch rim on the smallest side. So what these adapters are going to allow me to do is, you can see this is the clamp moved all the way in as far as it'll go. What this does, this clamp slides on and it moves the clamp higher and closer to the middle so that I can clamp a smaller rim, like a 8-inch, 9-inch, 10-inch rim. So this kit that I got comes with 4 of these. How they work is we just take out this cotter pin. There's a cotter pin and then this little bar that comes out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this set screw all the way out because I want to set it at the closest setting as I can to fit this 8-inch. I have an 8-inch and a 9-inch ATV wheel I want to try out on this. Moving this all the way out like that. Now what this bar here does is this bar goes actually on the front of this clamp. So what I do is I'm going to set it like that. So if I want it to as close as possible, I'm going to set it in front of this clamp here. If I want it a little further back, I can just move it there and it's a little further back and it'll clamp there. So there's 2 different settings on this. I can just move this set screw. You can see here how this set screw is pushing against this clamp, and then the clamp has this pin right in the jaw there, so I can just put all 4 of those on there. So what this is going to do is it's going to allow me to do some of these ATV or motorcycle tire, like a motorcycle wheel is going to have it could have the disc brake on there that's going to get in the way. This elevates it off the table, so it's going to be off the table. And then some of these ATV tires also are a lot thicker, and this is going to give a little more clearance. So for a thicker, smaller rim, these are going to be perfect for that. Slip the cotter pin and then tighten the set screw. So the kit that I have comes with all 4 of these, 1 for each of the clamps, and then it also comes with a new D-mount mounting head, which you can see mine already has one, but it's a little bit shorter. The tail of the duck head's a little bit shorter, the neck of the duck head's a little bit shorter, the beak's a little shorter too. So I'm going to see if I can do mine without changing this out. I would prefer not to change this out because it looks like there's a bunch of like Allen screws to unscrew it with, and this one actually has a little roller on it to help prevent scratching the wheels. So I want to see if I can do it with mine or if I'm going to need to install this smaller head. We'll just kind of see how it goes. All right guys, so with our clamps all ready to go, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get this tire ready to break the bead off of this. This is the size is a 20 by 10-9, so it's a 9-inch rim. It's pretty wide, so it's kind of small and wide. This is off of a kid's ATV. It's a Razor 170. It's like a kid size UTV. So I'm going to break the bead. First I need to remove the valve core out of the valve stem. All right, I want to keep the valve stem away from this shovel, so I'm just going to get the shovel lined up right next to the bead in the rim. So the front is now done. I'm just going to get the rear. Same thing for the rear. All right, I got the tire mounted up here. I'm just going to I'm going to measure the distance for this. I can adjust that by moving this. And I want this to just be 1 millimeter away from the rim, so about like that. And then I can adjust the height by pushing down. It's spring loaded. Once I get the height of it, I can just lock it in. So I want that right there. Real quick, I'm just going to do a little bit of lubricant on here just to make it come off a little bit easier. Now I'm going to use my bead roller to push the bead down, and then I'm going to use this tire iron to go under the lip so I can pull it over this duck head here. So once I have it like that, okay, just come over like that. gonna spin it here. All right, so the top, that bead's off, and then this bottom one. Do the same thing. I grab the bottom lip, so instead of this top lip, I just reach down in here and get the bottom lip. Luckily, this tire's not that heavy. You can see how the iron came through here underneath there. It's resting on there. Now I can just all right, I really just pushed it off at that point. Came off pretty easy. This has a lot of flex in the sidewall, so you can kind of manipulate it a little more than you can like a car tire. Okay, we got that out of the way. So there's our tire, our rim. You can see how it's clamped on there. I lost my valve stem out of there. I just need to reseat my valve stem. I shouldn't get my tool and I'll reseat the valve stem, but you can see how it's clamped with these adapters here. This is a thick wheel for this size of tire. All right, ready to put this tire back on. We're just gonna make sure that it's lubed up on the bead here. Let's reset that and then, okay, lock in that distance there. Now what I want to do is, so see how this is called the feather of the duck head here. This is where the tire needs to go over, but it needs to then go underneath the duck head when we're mounting. So I need to put it over the back of it and then kind of push down on it so that it okay, it does take a little force to get this down, otherwise it just spins around, so you just have to get a little force to push down on it. I'm gonna do the same thing on this end too. So see how the bead's over the duck feather, and then we're going under the head right here. I'm gonna use my assist arm to help me with this. So this assist arm, what it does is if I lower it down, it's gonna help keep the bead of the tire in the drop center. That way it'll allow the tire to slip over the edge because it's pressed down part of the rim, the drop center of the rim. So we go. All right, so see how this arm kind of helps, especially with a tire that's has so much volume to it, and it's easier to do this way than to try to keep a tire iron tucked under there. And so we just use that helper arm. So now we've got that completely mounted. We can even just spin it until, if we need to line up a dot, we can do that. That's really not an issue here. So release our arm there, and then I'm going to unclamp it and fill it with air. Now as far as the air, it looks like I have a pretty good seal. I'm just going to try airing it up and see if the beads seat. If it doesn't, I do have a bead blaster that we can use to seat the bead if we need to. So I'm just going to fill this up, keep it at 50 psi or so. You can kind of see the bead starting to pop open, and you'll hear a big pop. 2 pops, one on each side. That was the bottom bead. And that was the top bead. So now all I need to do is put the valve core back in. So I'm just going to take off so air's going to come out, so I want to get this in. So I just want to screw that in. And then I can just top up the pressure. This thing only needs about 15, 20 psi at the most. All right, guys, so I'm impressed with these motorcycle ATV wheel adapters for this machine. It made changing this pretty easy. They mount on real easy. They have 2 adjustment positions, so I really have a lot of versatility when it comes to mounting, tires and wheels, especially on something as small as a 9-inch rim here. I can do this size. I take these off. This machine will do up to 26-inch rim on the outside, so a lot of versatility. Anyways, guys, hopefully you found this informational helpful. I'll leave links to the products used in the video. But anyways, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.